I grabbed them. I was like, let's dance.
Yeah. That's what you did.
And then
she grabbed all of our arms.
I'm going, yes, I am dancing. No one else has.
My name is Kaylen.
My name is Kelsey.
And I'm Kristen, and welcome to Superstar Central. When you've been in a band for 13 years straight, like we have as a career, so many things happen. The good, the great, the crazy, and the embarrassing. And today, we're going to be sharing some of our most embarrassing and or nervous moments throughout our career.
The complete 180, the opposite of the outdoor shows, is when we did our coffee house tours. This was a couple years back. We were going to multiple coffee houses in Dallas, testing out a new sound of ours and just sharpening our skills, having fun performing for people, no matter how many people were there.
Yes.
And so this one coffee house, it was in downtown Dallas, specifically the south side of Dallas.
In a basement cafe.
And they had a lot of long hair baristas.
Yeah, guys.
And we're saying all this because these lyrics are in our song Memories. And this coffee shop, Opening Bell, is in our song Memories.
Yes.
That is the coffee shop.
The one we wrote about. Opening Bell Coffee is the coffee shop that is in and referenced in our song Memories.
Yes, we performed there once a month. For every third Sunday, we would perform there for a Sunday matinee show. And it was so much fun because we would perform at these other coffee houses, but then we'd always come back to Opening Bell.
Yes.
And so this one time...
It was, let me just say, it was the May show.
Yes,
Everything bad could happen in May. I mean, it's the month where you're not quite halfway through the year. People don't exactly know what's going on. And that was definitely what was happening at this show. There was chaos because as soon as we got there, we noticed that the smell was not the greatest, okay? It smelled a little bit bad. And I'm going to be honest, it smelled like sewage. And we were like, what is going on?
This is a
and our show is in 2 hours. And it smells terrible. And we were like, okay.
Yes.
We were like, what's happening?
Like,
what is the sitch?
We were thinking, this is a basement cafe. Like, these kind of things could happen. It was crazy. There was a plumber that was working in there trying to fix the situation
we were there
while we were setting up.
We were there, and then the plumber did show up, and we're setting up our sound, like, frantically, and everyone in the back of our mind is going, is this stench going to be gone by the time our show starts?
I know, and the thing is that our fans were going to start arriving soon, and we were going to be like, feel so bad if they had to smell sewage.
And we were all panicking inside, but luckily... the guy did what he needed to do and left, and the smell was dissipating, and we took a huge sigh of relief.
I know.
That could have been terrible.
Only the baristas knew what
the
real
baristas were over there going,
the baristas, they're like watching us, they're like,
guys, they don't have to worry about a thing.
I know.
I think the smell of coffee helped to get rid of it.
We purposely left that detail out of our song Memories, guys. we didn't want to.
No, because there were so many great things that happened at Opening Bell. That was just the worst time.
I know.
Yeah,
we didn't think about that.
The thing that I loved about that Opening Bell Residency is because it was such an intimate coffee house, and we got to talk to the people there and perform our songs, our love songs, and our upbeat songs. And
we debuted a lot of new songs there, too.
Yes. You know, something is so special about those memories from our coffee house tour at Opening Bell, our residency, because we really did cut our teeth there when it came to our tight-knit sound and the tight on stage performing together. And it really helped to develop our folk sound. And we also, our songwriting, like Kaylen said, we debuted a lot of beautiful and epic songs there.
Yes.
And shout out to the people who just so happened to come to one of those 12 shows because you were there at one of the most memorable moments in our band. And I'm forever grateful for that, for you being there.
I think we've posted a couple clips from Opening Bell. In particular, I'm pretty sure we posted the clip of the lady who got up and started dancing during Bareback Rider.
Yes. Isn't that a song we debuted there was Bareback Rider?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And you came out of the stage and you were dancing with her, and it was great.
I couldn't help it. I had to. Yes. I saw her move and I was like, I want to dance too.
Speaking of dancing, I think this reminds me of another embarrassing story. However, it wasn't embarrassing for me. It might have been a little bit embarrassing for K3 Kelsey.
K3 Kelsey!
Oh my gosh. Wait a second.
Do you know what we're referring to?
I think I know where you're going with this.
This was you. your guys' senior prom.
Okay,
and I was able to go because we went to a homeschool prom.
Yes.
And so they could bring me. I was an alumni.
As most of you guys know, we were homeschooled all of our lives. And so we did not get that, like,
high school experience.
Yes,
or
the
middle
typical
school.
high school
Or
experience.
elementary school.
But it's one of the sacrifices we made for the band.
Yeah, but
that's why we are the way we are, guys. We were homeschooled.
But
oh my god.
Yeah.
Luckily for us, Texas is one of like the biggest states for other homeschoolers.
There are so many.
So there was this
Shout out.
huge North Texas prom that was going on.
Yep.
And we were like, okay, we should go like at least once or twice,
and
just to see the scene, see what was popping, cooking, see what was
And
going
on the way to the prom, we're all in our dresses with our makeup. We're like all excited.
Yes.
But then all of a sudden, Kristen in the car asks.
We were with our girl squad in the car, and I just had this weird vibe to ask this out loud. But I said, our father was our chauffeur, and I said, hey, Dad, what do we do if a guy asks us to dance? And all the girls just like looked at me with bug eyes, like, what? Like, I think a guy is going to ask us? And then he says, I think you'll know what to do, but if you decide not to, just say not right now, maybe later. And so
he's like, you'll know what to do.
Yes,
you'll
he just said, you'll know what to do. Follow your instincts. And so we said,
Sure
okay.
enough, guys. We get there.
So
it's an upbeat song.
Wait, 2 minutes in.
Guys, we had just got to the dance floor. It was this super upbeat song. Not even, I kid you not even 30 seconds into jamming, getting in the groove of dancing.
It was like Pitbull or
I know,
something.
and the thing is,
it was like Fireball.
The night is still so young. Like you can tell others weren't into it yet, and we got there kind of fashionably late. We didn't want to be there too early or too late, so we got there right smack in the perfect moment.
We did. We got there fashionably late, so we're dancing, and all of a sudden, 30 seconds in, the DJ plays a slow song, a slow love song, and so immediately I'm there with my sisters and my girlfriends, and we're just standing around being like, okay, like, this is weird. Like, why'd they do a slow song? Like, we're kind of looking around, nothing to do.
Honestly, this all happened in, like, 10 seconds what you're about to say.
This happened very quickly. So right in this...
Like, we were about to, like...
start holding hands and, like, swaying.
Yeah, but before we could do that...
Because we had a plan to do that.
Yeah.
But...
before we could, act like we were doing something, I felt a tap on my shoulder.
A little tap.
A tap.
I turned around. Sure enough, it was this boy. He had a very kind of unsure look on his face, and he said, do you want to dance? And in my head, my dad's words were ringing in my head. You'll know what to do. You'll know what to do. And I'm just thinking, okay, I need to shut this guy down because this is so, like, it was so uncomfortable. Like, there's a slow love song playing and this stranger's asking me to dance. So I looked at him and I said, no, not right now. And then I turned around, I looked at my sisters and they're laughing, and I just engulfed them and we like run away.
No, you dragged us away.
She dragged us.
Okay, I dragged them away.
We will never let Kelsey live this down because
listen, from our
she got so flustered.
Listen,
like
from Kaylen and I's POV, okay, from our POV, we're looking at Kelsey and we're watching this happen like on the sidelines as the sisters. Like you see this in movies. And Kelsey looks like a deer in headlights.
No,
like
she doesn't.
I do not.
I
She
mean,
looked very calm. Come on.
maybe that's just because I'm her sister and I can read her.
It was because afterwards she goes,
Kaylen!
she like hugged me.
I grabbed them and I was like, let's dance!
Yeah, that's what you did.
And then
She grabbed all of our arms.
I'm going, yes, I am dancing. No one else has.
Kaylen, that face.
That's what she
Guys.
did. She's like,
She whisked us away from the dance floor.
I did feel a little bit bad, but guys, golden rule of thumb, never think twice about shutting a guy down, guy or girl down, or telling them no if you feel uncomfortable. Like, I did not feel bad. The vibes were not there.
it was not the vibe.
You should have waited till like halfway through the night.
Well, we did get there fashionably late, and he was like, "This girl's a pretty girl. I'm gonna ask her." And like,
I mean,
courage to him for asking, but like, it wasn't the vibe.
We had just gotten there,
Yeah.
man.
In fact,
he must have watched us come in.
I don't
Like,
know.
he must have
another
seen
story that happened at that prom was when we were all dancing. And
here's the good part.
The good part. The good dancing story,
Yeah.
okay? The song Dancing Queen started playing, which is such a bop, guys. Dancing Queen by ABBA. I was 17 at the time, so I felt like I was literally living the
You were.
song.
You were.
Dancing Queen, only
know.
17. And
you were beautiful that night.
Yes.
We all were beautiful.
And as we're dancing, the chorus comes up, and all of a sudden, Kristen and I see these two guys, and they're roping us in.
I know, they start doing like a lasso thing. Some Texas
And
boys.
so at
girls, Texas boys.
At first, we're like, no. And then
we're,
they
like,
wouldn't
turning away.
stop. They
And then,
just kept-
and then Kelsey and Kristen are kind of looking at me like, should we go?
Yeah,
Should we
she
go? And
can't
I was like, go. And I got my phone out and I recorded it.
Yes, it's actually on video. I have it on my Instagram.
Yeah.
And we were dancing. It was so much fun. This guy was like spinning me around. He was a great dancer.
Yeah. So
And
she ended up dancing with the right guy.
And then,
Yeah, it
get
happened.
this. Halfway through, I'm dancing with the guy, and the guy that Kristen's dancing with is going crazy.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I don't know what was going on with my dude.
He only knew one move.
It was so funny. So like I'm thinking, wow, this is like my princess moment, and then all of a sudden he grabs my hands and starts like dramatically whipping me around, and I'm literally getting dizzy. Okay, he's like spinning me. And I eventually stop and I'm like, what are you doing? And he goes, don't you know the pretzel? And I was like,
Okay, but no, her guy was
so
going.
he's like going crazy, okay?
was going so crazy that he stepped on the back of my dress and ripped it.
I
Literally,
know.
and in the moment, I didn't know that he ripped it. I was wearing this like
He
dress
fell.
that he fell
fell
and ripped
off
my
his
dress, and he
dress.
like
That
he
is
was-
also in the video.
It's in the video.
Might I add.
And I didn't realize that my dress was ripped until later in the bathroom. It was like just the top layer of tulle. Like you couldn't see anything.
Yeah,
it was fine. But like
It was
my
awful.
dress was ripped in the bathroom. All the girls were like helping like sew it back up and like or they didn't sew. They used like safety pins.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
And that reminds
Anyway.
me of our iconic Expecto Patronum dance. You guys might have seen us do that on our TikTok, the little thing that
Yes.
is our choreographed dance. And the whole
Iconic.
story behind that dance is we choreographed that ourselves. So that way, whenever we go into the middle of a dance circle and someone's like, go, or like everyone's looking around like
That always
who's gonna
happens.
go
Yeah,
in
like,
the middle,
you know, like,
we
like,
know
yeah.
we had something to do. Like that's why we made it. And so we would practice to like Sunflower by Post Malone.
Yeah, shout out to
Yeah.
Post
And
Malone.
then
If you're
because-
watching this, we love you.
Because we found out that our dance could go with like any song.
Yeah.
And so the time came at a specific homecoming, and it was another homeschool homecoming.
Yes.
And the time came. We actually did it twice.
That fateful
But
moment.
the second time, everyone was
It was
watching.
this huge dance.
Yes, it
circle,
was a
like-
much bigger crowd.
We went
the second
in with
time.
confidence. We did our dance, and,
And
even
then
the DJ.
we're waiting for the beat drop, and we're like all standing there.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden the beat drop happens, and man, we went for it. Boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everyone's
then-
going.
And the
Hey!
DJ.
They all
Yeah.
started screaming. They were going, hey, hey,
Yeah.
hey,
And then
hey.
even the DJ was like, "Go girls!" And
I
we're
know.
like,
Yeah,
He
like
said, "Nice
like
moves,
the
ladies."
DJ apparently had a mic and he started speaking
Yeah.
like good moves, girls.
Yeah,
We were
and
like,
then,
whoa.
And
I
then
know.
even as we were leaving that homecoming dance, people were like, "I loved y'all's dance," and we were like, "Thank you."
Guys, we felt like the main characters.
That was
in
main
that
character
moment.
energy for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Yeah.
know, another embarrassing moment that
Okay.
I remember
What is it?
on stage. A lot of crazy things happened, but this was an unexpected moment that I can never forget. Not only because it was caught on camera, but because it was a character-defining moment
Oh gosh.
and soul-torturing moment.
For
Okay,
you.
anyway,
For you.
so
I think,
we
yeah.
were
It wasn't that bad, but of course,
In
you,
my head, it was-
you think
oh,
it
yeah.
is because
Anyway.
it happened to you.
So it was the weekend of Halloween, and we were doing a Halloween show, of course, and it was Harry Potter themed, and the place was jam packed, wall to wall with people. One of
In
our
costumes.
yes,
Yes.
in costumes,
And
like,
we decided to wear our Harry Potter robes and just dress as our normal selves, but Kristen had a different idea.
So I had this blonde wig, and I was like, you know what? Can I be like female Draco? And the girls were like, yeah, that's great. And I was like,
Jenna
yeah.
Ben
And
Draco.
so, like, as I'm on stage, I'm like interacting with people in character, and it's going so great.
By the way, we called her Draca Malfoy. Didn't we call you
Yeah,
Draca?
Draca.
They called me Draca.
Like, I just remembered
Draca
that.
Malfoy. yeah. So, y'all with the fan arts, I can already see it. Anyway, so halfway through the show, man, the place is coming unglued. Like, they're like loving our new songs we're debuting
Yeah.
at that one, and we were having so much fun. Like, the crowd was so lit. And then it was halfway through our first set of the night. We did 3 sets and 3 like 45-minute sets. And so it was halfway through the first one only. And it was our iconic transition of Hurricane of Love. Oh wait, Living the Dream into Hurricane of Love. A lot of people love that transition. It's one of my favorites. So, right at that fateful moment, I seem to always, this was before I played drums on it, I would lean forward, and then I'd whip my hair back epically on the beat drop.
On the transition.
Right
and
at that
guys,
critical,
she was
critical and critical
and
moment.
she was so used to doing that. But here's the thing. She wasn't used to doing it in a wig.
And I forgot that wig was on my head. And so, in a flash of glory, I leaned forward right at the beat drop, and everyone's watching. They're loving it. And then I come back up, and all of a sudden, I feel this gust of cold air on my sweaty head. And I was like, and my bald cap head. And I was like, whoa, it's like, this is great AC.
Ooh,
but
cool
then all of a
breeze.
sudden, I feel a weight at the nape of my neck. And I instantly know what's going on. And I look at Kaylen, and I can see.
Do you remember my face?
Yes.
I had my jaw dropped because I looked over. This is my point of view. I look over at Kristen, and her wig's already off. Like, I didn't actually see it fly off. So when I look over at her, I go,
Yeah. Well, I think
And guys, I can't tell you how many emotions I was feeling in that moment. And so what did I do? I instantly grab the wig and I rip it and I fling my hair around, and the audience goes, and they think it's on purpose. And
Guys,
the crowd went wild.
I don't know
and
about that.
guys, no. From my perspective, I don't think I saw the wig fly off. I just heard people in the crowd laughing. I was like, what are they laughing at? I look over at Kristen and her hair, her wig.
They were all in
her
shock.
she
wig-
had this
her wig was
epic
snatched.
like Elsa braid though. She rocked it. You were
Yeah, she
just-
had a braid.
And I wore the Elsa braid for the rest of the sets.
Yeah.
And I looked at Kayla and I almost thought to myself, man, like, should we stop this song? And she had this look on her face of, you gotta go with this. Because the show must always
But
go
no,
on.
she rocked the rest of that
Yeah.
show in her Elsa
and you
braid.
know what? It was actually a really fun moment now that I look back on it, because everyone enjoyed it. It was a really theatrical moment, and it wasn't that embarrassing, but it was definitely one I will never forget.
Yes, very theatrical moment. Speaking of theatrical moments, guys. Do you like that transition? Theatrical.
Theatrical.
Very theatrical. One of my most embarrassing moments is when I was in a theater
movie
and we were
theater.
seeing one of the best Disney movies ever made.
I would argue it is the best Disney movie.
It's so
It
good.
is one of, if not the best Disney movie
Do you know
ever
which
made.
one we are referring to?
It is one that moved me to tears as a young. I was like 11 or 12 at this moment.
Yes, really young.
Let's
And
all just
it
imagine
was.
Kaylen at 11 or 12 going to the movies.
And
to
it
see
was the movie Tangled. Tangled is like the
Round of
best
applause
movie.
for
That
Tangled.
that movie awakened emotions in me I didn't know I had. And this is the reason how and how it happened. The whole thing was leading up, to Flynn dying, and then you found out that he wasn't dead because, everything turned out okay. It's magic. Healing tears.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I thought I would cry at that because I loved Flynn. Like, I fell in love with Flynn at like 12 years old.
Who did it?
And then I was like, oh, I didn't. You got chills.
I got chills thinking
Yeah.
of Flynn.
I was like, this has
cutting
been
her
the
hair.
best love story ever. Like, it's great. And I thought I was going to cry when Flynn died. And I almost did. Like, I was like having, my eyes were watering, but I never cried. I did not shed a tear there. The moment that caught me off guard. The moment was when she was reunited with her parents after all of the years. I started crying. A little bit of tears here and there, a little bit of tears here and there. And I was trying really, really hard not to wipe the tears away, because as soon as you do that, people look over at you. They're like, are you crying?
Yeah.
So I wasn't trying to go. I was really trying really hard to not go, because I could have.
And guys,
But I didn't.
Keep in mind, we went to this movie with some boys our age. So like,
Oh, I
Kaylen-
was about to say, we were literally
a big
seeing it
friend
with
group.
like low key our crushes. Like, I was not wanting to cry in front of my crush. Let's just say that at like 12 years old. So the movie, get this, the whole rest of the movie, I'm still crying. The credits are rolling. I'm still crying.
Still crying,
And at this
guys.
point, people have to look at you now, right? You're no longer watching a movie. And so the guys are looking at me, this one specific guy, and goes, Kaylen, are you okay? And I'm just like I couldn't
Yes.
say anything.
And fun fact about Kaylen is when she does cry, her eyes get so red, and her face around her eyes get really red. And so
puffy. They get puffy, and Kristen makes fun of me and calls me Mr. Krabs.
Yes.
And so
It's a meme.
that was one of the most embarrassing moments for me. That was actually the first movie that I ever cried at. even in a theater. It was just the first time I'd ever cried. Do you guys remember yours?
So the first movie that I cried at was actually Toy Story 2, right?
What? No, it was 3.
3. Yeah, sorry. Toy Story 3. It was the one that all of the toys are in the garbage area and they're about to be burned alive. And
I never thought that sentence would come out of her mouth.
They were trying so hard to, make it out, and then all of a sudden they realize their fate. And I grew up with these Toy Story characters, and the thing that got me was when Woody and all of them accepted their fate and just held hands.
Yeah.
And they were just like, okay,
it was very emotional.
We're in this together. I just got chills. And I cried as a young little girl. I don't know how old I was. It was actually came out around my birthday, I remember. Because it was like my birthday party. Yeah. My friends and I went to see this movie. Yeah. And I cried for the first time. And yeah, you'll never forget the first movie that you cried in.
Man,
what was yours?
So mine.
Was it what I think it is?
It was How to Train Your Dragon 2, and it was in the theater, and for some reason, I don't think you two were there. I was only there with my mom.
Okay.
And, this is his mom.
I was going to say, I thought it was the Good Dinosaur. I thought that was the first one you cried at.
Oh my gosh.
Was it?
Wait, which one came first?
I don't
Guys,
know.
let us know which one came first.
Okay, because I also cried in that one.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is the first one I remember crying in, was How to Train Your Dragon. And literally, it was when Toothless got captured by the enemy. And I was so upset that I started, scream crying. I was like, and I was
you're a young kid.
Yeah. I was still a little kid. And so my mom literally grabbed me and was like, shh, it's okay. He's okay. Look, see? And I was like, what? And I remember snot coming out. I was like, what?
Speaking of snot, I remember this one time you were young. We were at the movie theaters together, and Kristen thought it was a good idea.
No.
There are these candies. I don't know if it's,
no one
all around the
ever
world,
heard this story.
but they're really popular here, or at least amongst us, because we love them. They're called Crunch. Bunch of Crunch is what they're called.
Yes.
And they're basically little chocolate, little tiny things.
It's a Crunch bar, but in balls.
And it's so much better than any other version
And for
of the
some
Crunch
reason, bar. Kristen thought it would be a good idea while we're watching a movie. I think I was 5 years old.
She's a young kid.
I was 5.
She's just doing whatever she wants at this
even
point.
4.
Honestly, I forget what movie it was.
I don't even know.
It was Herbie Fully Loaded.
Was it really?
I loved that movie. I
No
love it
way.
still to this day.
Are you
yes.
It was not Herbie Fully Loaded.
I think it was.
That's
What?
crazy.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie. By the way,
great movie.
Kristen
sometimes when you're a little kid and you're watching a movie, you get bored with the movie, and we had this candy, to keep us occupied, munching on, and so all of a sudden I remember.
You did more than munch.
She did more than munch.
So I'm watching the movie.
She's stuffed. She's stuffed and fluffed.
So all of a sudden I'm watching the movie and I'm not really paying attention to what I'm doing. So I start grabbing the candies. And I saw it in a show called iCarly where they shoved raisins.
It was
blueberries up their nose. And so me being a little kid, I was like, And so I started just shoving them up there, both nostrils.
Up her nose, guys.
Up my nose.
Up her nose.
And I'm, again, not really paying attention. I'm watching the movie. But then all of a sudden, I tried to breathe in as I'm sticking them in, and I couldn't. And I immediately start panicking. And so I start tapping my mom, and I'm like, I can't breathe. I almost can't even talk.
As soon as mom heard that you couldn't breathe, she stood up, took you by the hand, and was like, let's go right now to the bathroom.
She practically picked me up, man. Yeah. And I'm like having a panic attack because I can't breathe.
I remember being so confused.
We all had to leave. We were so young.
Yeah, she dragged us all out of the theater.
We all had to leave.
And she's going, breathe through your mouth. Can you breathe through your mouth? And literally, I did not know how to breathe through my mouth. I couldn't breathe through my mouth. And so what does she start doing? She starts banging on the back of my head. And I'm going, and all of a sudden she goes, blow out your nose.
And Kristen's, I remember she was sneezing out chocolate. True story.
I was okay.
She was fine.
Okay, I have to tell one more story that happened at the movie theater. A lot of our funny stories.
This was like a gold mine. Oh my gosh.
This was when we were seeing the movie Epic. And if you haven't seen the movie, I highly recommend you see it.
It's so good.
Oh my gosh.
It's really
the most underrated movie.
It's so underrated.
And wait, Josh Hutcherson, he was the main leaf man. It's so cute.
We loved the leaf men. Shout out to the leaf men.
Okay, so we were there seeing Epic, the three of us, while our parents saw a cool movie. They saw Star Trek with, Chris Pine, because we weren't even into Star Trek then because we were little kids.
Yes.
We were not into that yet. We love Star Trek now. We're obsessed with Star Trek now. We went through a Star Trek phase. Anyway, we're at the movie theater. We're seeing Epic. It was a great movie.
So good.
Again, kind of emotional. I didn't cry though, but I loved it. And so afterwards, we texted our mom, the movie's over. Can you come get us? And guys, they're watching Star Trek. So she has to leave her theater to come get us. Yeah. And so she's gotten us. And all of a sudden, this didn't click in my mind. But all of a sudden she goes, hurry up. And I'm like, it's not clicking in my mind why I'm having to run. I'm like, why am I running right now? And guys, before I know it, there is this turn in the movie theater where there's a carpet and where the tile meet. It's kind of a curve type thing.
Yeah, and there was a little rubber thing connecting the tile and the carpet.
But it's not a step or anything. It was just kind of a carpet where the carpet started.
What we mean, a little tiny.
All of a sudden, we're rounding the corner. I think I actually have popcorn in my hand.
Yes, you did. You had a jumbo bucket of popcorn.
I was running with popcorn in my hand, and before I know it, I'm on the ground. My feet have kicked my butt.
Yes, guys.
I am on the ground. And I'm like, how did I get here?
This is one of those moments in my life that I will just never forget. It's permanently engraved into my memory, my long-term memory.
She was so graceful. She went down like a baby giraffe. And man, her legs just elegantly kicked her buttocks.
Elegantly?
Yes. And man, she went into a crescent position. It was like a yoga pose.
Yes, guys. No, she literally.
And man, I don't think I'll ever get to see that again. And the popcorn goes flying as well.
She literally slid in like a baseball player sliding into home base.
Yes.
Her feet kicked her butt, and we're cracking up. There's popcorn everywhere.
And then we.
She was fine. She didn't.
Then we made it to the other theater, and that was that.
Yes, and we watched the end of Star Trek Into Darkness.
We did, and we had no idea what was going on, but we liked it.
I remember seeing Zachary Quinto as Spock, thinking, wow, this guy looks cool.
I know, we were amazed. Zachary Quinto.
Yeah.
I still think that at this age, Zachary Quinto.
So guys, comment below in the section what, if you remember that is, what movie that first made you cry? Because it's different for everyone. It might be a Disney movie. It might not be. But we want to know. We told you guys ours. Also, let us know in the comments which one of these stories made you laugh the most or which one you liked the most. We would love to know.
Yes, we will also be replying to all of the comments in the comment section and liking them. So let's keep this conversation going in the comments, guys. We'll reply to you.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like and follow for more on all social media platforms.
Also, make sure to check out Premium Access on our website, K3 Sisters Band, where we put a bunch of cool behind-the-scenes videos, just exclusive content. It's only 99 cents a month, and it really does help support us in the band. So
yeah, it unlocks a bunch of videos, bloopers, everything, and you get free stickers the first week or so that you sign up. So
also, don't forget to stream our music, our new album 13, for free on our website, k3sistersband.com.
Exclusively. For all of the crazy things, just basically go to k3sistersband.com.
Yeah, everything's there. This has been Superstar Central, and we will see you guys next time. Bye!